totally already did it. So, and then I assume. Oh, hello YouTube.
Hello,
I
YouTubes.
assume you will be taking care of recording our audio for us tonight.
Yeah.
Neat. All right.
All right. I'm just pulling that story up. There we go.
Sweet.
Okay.
Oh man, this is gonna be a lively episode. I can tell already. Everybody's half asleep. Don't worry, boys.
It's Sunday. I've been drinking.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm ready to roll whenever y'all are. Let me start recording so Bryce can do his Robot 96.
All right.
He's in a cave tonight.
Hang on. All right, whenever. Whenever you're ready. What is going on?
What's happening?
I'm sorry.
Are you?
Are you rushing artistry?
No, I'm not actually. Take your time.
Okay, that's what I thought. I knew what I was doing. I knew it was my turn. Shut up.
96.
Hope you were ready.
No, that was-
Beautiful.
The moment's
That
gone.
was perfect.
The moment's gone.
I mean, I honestly thought you were frozen for a second because you stayed so perfectly still. I was like, oh no.
I thought you were drunk or something.
Don't project onto me, buddy. You're drinking. Yeah,
I apologize.
you're forgiven. You're forgiven. By the grace of my cat, you're forgiven.
By the grace of my cat. All right. Well, let's get it rolling.
All right.
Let
I'm
me
just cutting out the number.
All right. How do I switch to the live view?
All right. And I am going to begin in a second.
Do you want a countdown?
For old time's sake?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just let me know when you're ready for the countdown.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a lovely, interesting episode 96 of the PBnJ podcast. How are y'all doing?
Yeah. Man, I'm doing great.
I'm feeling like a rhinestone cowboy. Thank you.
You're looking like it too, buddy.
Yeah, you are.
Fucking rock star beard over there.
Yeah, you know. You already know what it is.
Have you started oiling the beard yet?
No, I've been looking into it, though. Because that's definitely going to be the next step. Because I'm going to start needing to do extra care for it other than my regular washings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, I've been trimming it to where whenever I have, like, the renegade, like, I'm just going to curl outward hairs. I just need
Yeah.
clean those out.
For the women, those are like, what do they call it? Flyaways. For our beard.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah. So, welcome to the show. That's a weird start. It's actually a kind of a weird start totally in general. So you should go back and watch the video version of the show if you're listening to the audio, because we are strange people. So
Sure.
Yeah. It's definitely episode 96. So we're happy to be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, super excited.
We got the whole freaking sandwich here tonight. So it's going to be tasty.
Soup's tasty.
Actually, before we get too far, something I just actually thought about is, do you guys watch The Flash?
I haven't in so long.
Oh, bro, you should. You guys
I
really
never
should.
did. Remember, I always just know what's going on at any point. I can just pretend I did. And just like, yeah, Barry was like, I need to get faster.
I need to
Okay, so that's true. He
Yeah.
does always have to get faster, even though his tagline is he's the fastest man alive. He always has to get faster because he finds out he's not. Right.
darn you, speedster.
Like
So,
every
so
new arc,
anyway,
he's just yelling out at the top of his lungs, "Whose man's is this?" As someone else is faster than him.
whose man's is this?
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. So now you broke the whole train of thought. No, so in the newest season, right? There's some stuff happening with somebody from the future. I don't want to ruin it for people who might have not watched it. And you know, she's like probably like older teenager kind of, and she uses this word shui, right? So she says everything is shui, right? Like,
Shui,
and
bro.
it means cool, right?
Yeah.
And I guess it originated in a comic or Batman Beyond or something like that, right? Because I felt the need to look it up.
Yeah.
And so, but my wife has been using shui, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, we should try to ensure that shui becomes everyday use.
So that way we make these not liars.
Yeah.
I've always wondered how those types of words become popular, like lit. Like, where did that come from? How
Well,
did that
'cause-
become so
Because
popular?
it's lit, fam.
Because it's lit, fam. Exactly. You know, but I want it to be shui.
It's shui, bruvs.
I don't know. We have to find a way to make it happen, though. It's like I've been really working on.
It's so swag.
I tried to work on Girl Bro for a while. But
I remember
it
that.
failed. It failed to take off.
I remember you telling you kids to, hey, call your friends girl bros.
Yeah. So like I assumed like
Should've worked. I don't
it
see
should
why
have
not.
worked, right? Yeah. So like we could say bro, but if you want to say bro to a girl, you can't. So it's girl bro. So, you know, there's no other alternative. And I was solving a major problem there.
I mean, I use it to my wife.
Yeah.
I really do.
Good, because it should be a thing. So
I
anyway,
agree.
the word shui is even fun to say. Oh, I can
Oh,
rhyme.
look at that.
Check that shit out.
You're a poet and you didn't even realize that.
You were unaware of that fact.
Yeah. Oh man, so I didn't want to derail too far, but I think that we're going to, and I'm going to purposely. You'll see. Maybe somebody who's listening keep count. I'm going to work shui into my everyday conversation.
I mean, do your best. You want to know what's shui?
What?
You're talking about derailing. I'm going to talk about off grid for a second because I've come to a conclusion for myself that is going to be a little weird. But I'm in the talks with some folks to rent them out my house, and I'm going to convert my van into a little mini home, and I'm going to start driving around and live in my van.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I've been
But
looking
why?
into it. Because I fucking hate everything. And this
Okay.
is my way of like escaping all that. Because I was sitting there at work the other day, and I got a call from like a 98 million year old woman.
98 million-year-old
man.
woman.
Who didn't know
Got
how
it.
to underscore on her computer, but she
Okay,
added
got
an
it.
underscore to her password through her phone. And explaining underscore to her took 30 minutes. And as I was battling against the sheer magnitude of 98 years of not knowing something, I realized that I hated that. And I also realized that I would be much happier doing literally anything else. And then I go on YouTube while I'm talking to her because the fuck else am I going to do? I'm going to blow my brains out.
Sure.
No, I mean, it seems legit to me.
And
Absolutely.
the first suggested
sure.
video, I swear to God, how to convert Kia Sedona into a van dweller.
Wait a minute.
and
hold
it's
on.
my van.
I'm gonna need you.
I can post up the video.
Actually, I would like you to, because I want to
Yes.
see.
Yeah, the
I want to
inspiration
see
for
the
my
inspiration.
CZ.
Okay, so explain to me. So okay, so you came to this realization. This is great. I like
Yeah.
this. Let's talk about this. So you came to this realization that you want to rent your house out. So you'll have income then.
Not only income, but I don't have to worry about getting a job that pays enough to where I'd be able to pay for both my rent and my travel.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're paying the mortgage, even if I have it set to where they pay the bare minimum to cover the mortgage, that means I'm free to go work fucking some $10 an hour job, some piece of shit job, for a month in a city.
So yeah,
Pocket that
like
money and then use like a quarter of it to travel somewhere else, rinse and repeat, and do that for like a year.
okay.
And just like travel. I'll have them on a year-long lease. The people I'm talking to are people that I know, who just happen to be looking for a place near where I am. They were talking about it like a week before, and then when I saw this video, I was just like, "What if I told them, hey, you want to rent my house out?" And so it's like, I was thinking of doing this. What are your thoughts? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's talk about this.
All right. So tell me about what your van accommodations would be. So to describe Bryce's van for people that don't know, it's not a super big van.
Yeah, this isn't like a cargo van. This isn't like your standard van
Jesus paid
dweller
for
conversion.
it. Jesus paid for it.
Yeah, Jesus paid it all.
Curious. Paid it all.
It's the Jeezy Mobile.
It really is. Yeah.
And essentially, it's completely paid off, and it's a situation where I think I'm going to it's going to be like camping gear to start myself off. I'm not going to do any kind of crazy modifications to the van. The only thing that I'm going to do, and it's not even really a mod, it's just a thing, is I'm probably going to get a house battery, and I'm going to get a a suitcase solar panel.
Oh yeah, okay.
To charge the house battery.
Okay.
And that'll be what I'll use for electronics and things like that. I'm also going to get a converter for the car battery.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't want to use only the car battery, just because I don't want to be too rough on it. It'll die too quick.
So you're going to take like the back seats out and stuff and like...
Oh, I've already got the middle seats out, and the back seats I'm just going to leave folded down.
Okay.
And essentially I have enough space for a cot, for one side of the van to basically just be a cot. And then I'm going to set up like a little kitchen with my propane tank that I use for my grill. I'm just going to take it off the grill, and I'm going to use it for a little, camp top cooker, propane powered. But instead of using the little green canisters that those usually use, because of how small they are, I'm just going to, there's attachments you can get. You pop that attachment into the cooker, and then it hoses down to a bigger propane tank.
So what do you think your starting investment cost is going to have to be for yourself to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to be able to rent this now. Van is ready to live in.
I'd say about $400 for the van to be ready to live in, like with everything that I want to start myself off with.
Even the battery?
Well, no. That's going to come a little later. Like, I'm talking about the cot. It's probably going to be like 130 to 160, because I'm going to get a really heavy duty. I'm a big dude, so I want a cot that's badass. But I've also been looking into some builds where I could like build my own bed platform and just get like a bunch of fucking cheap like foam like construction material from Home Depot kind of deal and make a makeshift bed. But I don't know if I want to do that to start off. I kind of like the idea of the cot and just like, because I can take that out if I wanted to sleep outside.
So here is a video.
You probably found the video.
And it's going to start as soon as this ad's over, about living in a Kia Sedona minivan.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay, so...
Is it cheap RV living?
Yes.
Yes, that is
So
that is
he
going
on
to be the
top
one.
of this van, there is mounted what looks like a solar panel. Um, so are you so what are you planning on traveling and seeing the states, like going to places or
The
whatever?
first big travel thing I'm going to do, like to start myself off, my like launch pad location. I'm just going to go to Tampa and work over there because my best friend's there, and there's a job over there I can do where literally go onto a ship and act like a pirate for $10.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
got the beard. Give me the eye patch and the sword, and I'll shout out at people from the canal, like a crazy homeless person. Like, hook me up. And I'm gonna save a little bit of money that way,
Okay.
because ultimately, even if I have nothing in savings, right? Even if
Yeah.
nothing was squirreled away, the first month that they pay to move in for the rent, I already worked for that month at my current job.
Yeah.
So I already have 1 full month's worth of work squirreled away at that point for mortgage costs kind of deal.
Now, are you gonna have
Right.
like internet in your a computer still? Like,
I'm going to have
are you gonna be able to game? Are you gonna bring a gaming system
I'm
possibly?
going to have handheld gaming, and I'm going to get a laptop. Nothing too expensive. This is just going to be cheap little thing to start me off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to go. The internet. There's wireless cafes and libraries all over the United States that I can take advantage of. I mean, hell,
True.
even Denny's has fucking Wi-Fi.
Well, I mean, I would like to uh make sure that we're tracking you
Oh yeah.
from
I'm going to be
week
able
to week.
to.
I
I'm
want
going
to
to be able to do internet for the show. Like
I
that
want to
part's
be
fine.
able
I
to
have the internet
see.
on my phone at the very least.
I can't wait to see these places you go. So like right now, the
That's
screen grab
exciting.
that I have, yeah, like I'm excited for you. Like
Yeah.
right now, this minivan I'm looking at is like parked at like in the middle of a desert or whatever.
Yeah.
And they got like bikes and a solar thing and
That's lit.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's
it's
one of those
sway
things
is
where
what
you
it
just
is.
open up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
so sway.
super sway. You
It's
open up
sway
the
is what
back
it is.
of the fucking van, and you have like some wire shelving you got for $20.
Mm-hmm.
And that shelving is your pantry and your top for the stove. And this side, I'm gonna put like a plank of wood that I'm gonna notch out the edges
Mm-hmm.
to fit in the shelving, and that's gonna be my cutting board / counter. And whenever I want to cook, I just go in the back of the car. Now he's got gear that is more on the expensive side that I might upgrade to over time. But to start myself off, I'm just gonna do a cooler, and I'm just gonna go to grocery stores more often. Like if I want meat, I'll just get what I need and just like
Cook it.
use that day.
Yeah.
And try and keep things very like 1-to-1. Only buy what I need when I need it. And but there are a lot of things that I can get that last a while.
Well,
like turkey,
dude,
there's fruits
you
with
can get
rinds, there's
you can invest in a one of those ridiculously expensive coolers, right? Like a
yeah,
Yeti cooler or
Yeti.
something,
yeah,
right? And you could put stuff in there, put ice in there, and it's good for days,
Right.
on days.
right. And that's what I'm looking into. And hell, I could even take a more ghetto style, like cheaper cooler,
Mm-hmm.
just slap a bunch of fucking Reflectix around it,
Yeah, you could do
and
that.
turn
Yeah,
it
that's
into
true.
essentially a Yeti cooler that way. Which I'm going to be getting Reflectix, so I can put those into my windows, for not only privacy, but also for heat and cool. That'll be like makeshift insulation I can just pop into place.
Right.
That I'm going to be investing into. But my first big trip after, I'd say I'm probably going to do that for a month or two, maybe
Yeah.
3 in Tampa, saving up for the rest of my legs, and then I'm going to launch from there before the summer comes. And essentially, I want to drive from Florida all the way to Oregon, where my dad and Loria and my stepmom are.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And it's literally like bottom right, upper left, fucking across the United States, it's going to take 49 hours of driving.
Holy
and
shit.
I'm not going to do it all at once.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
I'm
should
gonna
take
drive
weeks.
I'm going to drive a few hours, find something cool that catches my eye, come in, check out the local museum, check out the local art scene, check out what's going on, hang out there for a day or two, and then start driving again. Find the next place.
Yep.
And I'm just going to hop from spot to spot. If I decide I need a little more money before I continue, pick up a quick job as a fucking dishwasher or server or something for a week or two.
Yep.
And then just fucking.
Well,
Been
because
fun.
you don't really need money. You
Yeah,
just
because I won't have rent.
Mhm.
I just need enough. Like, if I were just calculating the gas cost, my van's gonna get me like 23 miles to the gallon on the highway.
Now, there is something to think of with your van, and that is is there stuff that you want to do mechanically
I'm
before
going to take it
leaving?
in. I'm going to take it in up front and have everything checked over. I'm probably going to look into when I bought that battery.
Mhm.
I want to make sure that that's enough. I feel like I bought it recently, like right after the hurricanes, and I haven't driven it much since then, and it's been fine. So I feel
Yeah.
like the battery is good to go. It's pretty much new. I want to triple check the tires because I don't remember exactly when I bought them. I feel like it was like 2 years ago. So I want to make sure there's still tread on them because I'll probably have to replace the tires on the way to Oregon at some point. Just because, well, then again, I barely drive the fucking thing. So it could be like they're practically brand new too, even with me not driving it for 2 years because I've worked from home for a long time. So like now that I'm thinking about it, even the tires might be okay. Minus like age, you know what I mean? So I'll have those checked out. I just want them to look at everything. I'm gonna get fucking synthetic oil just plugged into that bitch, like clean it out, fresh filter, synthetic oil. I don't care if it's time yet. Let's get it done so I know that it's good to go.
And you want to do synthetic oil too because it'll last a lot of miles. But the amount of miles you're going, I mean, you might even stop at some point and want to do that again. Also,
because this is like a 3,000-mile trip.
And you know, you'll be easy on it, I'm sure, because you're pretty chill, you know, and you're gonna be out there, doing your thing.
And I'm
gonna
be going slow, so it's not like I'm like hard grinding in a single day, 3,000
But it'd be
miles.
cool to have like a like a mountain bike attached to the back of it, and like you have like a solar panel and a battery, and like as you're going, like maybe like halfway there, you end up upgrading some shit. I think it sounds.
And that's the idea is like as I go and I one have the money from like different things that I'm doing, odd jobs I'm doing here and there. There's also some freelance websites that I found for looking for work outside of Craigslist for like tech people and stuff like that, where I can set up a new business who's just hiring a tech for a week to get them set up and then they're good kind of deal. So I can come in, help those people, you know, install Windows and all 20 of their machines and the fucking QuickBooks and stuff, and then be like, all right, thanks. That'll be
all right,
X amount of money.
Yeah.
So like, as I collect those things and as I'm living in the van, I'm going to feel out what is important to me the most. But honestly, for a lot of things, I've realized as I've sat in my room watching YouTube or watching Twitch.television that a lot of the things I feel like I need my computer for, I don't even do. Like a lot of the higher end gaming, I barely touch it anymore. I just don't care. And a lot of the online multiplayer gaming, which was another thing that was really big for me, I don't really do anymore. I've been playing a lot of single player games recently. And one of the things I've decided I wanted to do, even before I wanted to do the van thing, was I wanted to do like a marathon of Game Boy Advance games that I've owned legally. And just misplaced the cartridge for. And
luckily you had that backup.
Luckily I had that backup.
i7,
and a PSP that can load up the backup. And I wanted to just run through a bunch of GBA games that I haven't played in years, and I realized I can do that from the road.
Yeah.
That's like downtime. But the other thing is I've been wanting to focus on writing more. So this will give me an opportunity to like cut all distractions out and just be sitting there.
Just think of all the inspiration that you'll get from driving around to all these new
Right?
places and shit.
All the interesting people I'm going to meet and talk to.
Yeah.
And that's another thing is the video that you found is the same one I found, the living or traveling in a Kia Sedona minivan. And they have like meetups where they just have a bunch of van dwellers meet up in the same campground or the same like location, like same state park, and they all like hang out and talk, and it's almost like a conference.
There's one thing that we haven't covered with van dwelling, and it's something that I'm curious about.
Is it my cat?
Usage.
Not your cat, but that's a good one, and we'll bring that up too. But what did you say, Jordan?
Bathroom
usage.
Yeah, there we go.
Bucket and some sawdust for anywhere that doesn't have plumbing, but ultimately, like there's public bathrooms everywhere. I'm going to get a Planet Fitness monthly subscription for the gym because they have showers. So for $10 a month,
true. Yeah, that's
anywhere
actually,
has a fucking.
That's
Planet
actually
Fitness.
a good idea. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
So I can just go into any town that has a Planet Fitness and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm here to work out."
Are there people that have decked out their little minivans to the point where there's like a fold-out shower and like a toilet somehow on it, and like
they have all kinds of builds out there that are gorgeous. They have like hardwood floors inside their minivan, all kinds of stuff.
That's crazy. Really?
Yes, because it's their space, and it's something to where they loved it so much that they wanted to take pride in it, and they wanted to make it their happy space. And everyone I've seen who gets interviewed about why they did it and then how they're happy, how they are now, all of them are just like, this is the first time I felt truly happy. This is the happiest I felt in 25 years or 10 years or 5 years or however much, is them doing this.
Well, the fact that you're in a position in your life that's something that you can be able to do.
Exactly.
I'm envious of that. Yeah, because it's cool that you can just do that you can, because like I could theoretically put my house up for rent, and but
you have family obligations.
You would need a bus, like a full-size RV.
Yeah, you would need. But that's the thing is you could pick up a school bus for fairly cheap.
Yeah.
So I've seen where, because tiny house living or whatever is like a big thing right now. Yeah. So I've seen where people have converted a school bus, like a short bus, right, into like where there's even like a dividing wall in the back is like where there's two cots and like all this other stuff. Like you can essentially make a micro apartment.
And that's the thing is it's all about just really focusing on what you truly need. And I realized that 90% of my shit I don't use. Like I'd say 95% of my shit I don't use. So like I don't need to bring it with me, and I don't need a storage unit for it because I have a garage. So I'm going to tell them, hey, house is fully furnished. Any furniture you don't want to use, popping it in my garage, tell me what you need and what you don't.
Yeah.
And then now for the cat. Because this was the thing that was my initial block until I started doing some research on cats and this stuff. Almost every story I found for cats, it was something to where the first 2 or 3 days they were freaked out, which is normal for cats.
Yeah.
Whenever you introduce any kind of newness or a change in the environment, a lot of times they'll me changing my room around
for any animal
will cause my cat Luna to freak out about my room for like a day.
Yep.
To where she'll like have to sniff it out and like she's really skittish in it until she gets used to it again. So like, but after that 2 to 3 days, cat's golden, ready to go, digging it, sleeping on the cot. You know what I mean?
Used to the movement and the vibration and shit.
Exactly. And it's one of those things where I looked into like tiny builds to where I would have a litter box for her under the cot that would have like, you know, the butcher flaps. Where
No, I don't think I know what that
the
is.
plastic like strips that hang down in butcher shops to separate the back from the front.
Yeah.
You can get those for the front of a litter box, so it acts as like a door for the cat to where they can get into their litter box, but it acts as like a fucking scent guard. So like I'll have low tracking, like strong ass kitty litter to prevent any kind of scent, but I also have like that as my scent guard, so she can just flip in and out. And essentially, I'm going to start not leash training, harness training her, so that way when we're outside of the van and like walking around and doing
You can
stuff,
walk her on a leash.
I can walk her.
Funnily enough, I learned how to walk my cat today, so it's funny that you say that. Essentially, I just pull a string behind me, and she just follows me.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I plan on also getting a license for her for like an assistance animal kind of deal.
Emotional support type deal.
100%.
So you can bring her places with you, like you can walk in the store with her.
I'm gonna get like a kitty backpack.
Oh, I hate people that do that.
Well, to a degree, I would agree. My only thing is she actually is. If I didn't have her with me, I'd fucking kill myself. Like it's one of those things where she is my rock. She's my constant. Having her in my house has been like one of the things that's made me happy. So I need to have her with me on this trip. And if it's one of those things where her comfort levels don't change, then the plan dies. Like if it's something to where after a few days she doesn't get into it, that's going to be the linchpin for the plan where this doesn't happen, right? Because my cat, I made an agreement to take care of her for the rest of her life.
Well, then you need to try out this,
right? And that's why I have the Launchpad location that I'm going to be rocking.
Well, are you not going to rent the place out until after you've done that?
Yeah, until after. Well, I'm also going to acclimate her to the van before the renting starts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where I plan on taking her out to the van, and us like spending nights out in the van. Because I'm going to take like a week or two at the very least to slowly start building everything up.
Yeah, get her used to it or whatever.
Not just getting her used to it, but also just putting shit in the van and getting it ready. You know, setting up the rig, making sure I like how everything's looking, getting organized. Because organization's huge for something like this. I'm gonna have a backpack full of my electronics that I'm going to keep with me at all times, and my cat that I'm gonna keep with me at all times, and that's just gonna be what it's gonna be. And
I want you to get a little backpack that your cat sits in.
Well, yeah. No, I plan on getting one. Yes. I'm gonna get a cat pack.
Cat pack.
I'm gonna try and make it one that goes on the front, to where it's almost like a tent for her that I have on my belly.
Mm-hmm.
And she has like a little window in the front and she can look around.
It'll be known as the Luna Lounger.
Yeah, the Luna Lounger, the Cat Pack Luna Lounger.
The Cat Pack Luna Lounger. Okay, well,
I'm sold.
I'm pretty sold on it. I think that PB&J podcast is going to track the journey of Bryce across the United States. I'm excited for this. It's going to be awesome.
I'm going to make sure to post it up on the YouTube. I'm going to take videos of everything.
I think everybody wants that kind of freedom. That's kind of like the root of the American dream, if you ask me.
Okay, so switching to kind of something very similar to that is the life of a carny. Okay, which is essentially that, right?
It's similar.
It's
just
living
life on the road.
And you have your nomads with you,
and a lot of them are weird, right? I don't know if it's long exposure to train life or something. I don't know, but what has me thinking about is we just went to the fair. We actually went to the fair last night.
Okay,
and there's a couple of things that I sort of picked out while I was there that I kind of wanted to talk about. The first thing was the people, and I don't mean just like the people that work, carnies or whatever, right? We want to call them, but also the people that go to the fair, right? So you have your family attenders, right? Which is like the category we were in.
Yeah.
Which is
Right.
like, usually mom, dad, kid, or some type of family unit together, right? Then you have your younger teen groups, right? They're
Mhm.
the definitely wasn't dressed that way when your mom dropped you off group.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay. Now I remember those days going to the fair when I was young, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they are obnoxious,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And then you have your like
68-year-old single.
well, no, we're not I'm not to that one yet, actually, because
Okay.
right. So I have the like the thug group, right? Like white dudes with face tattoos, right?
Right.
Or like gangster like ghetto black chicks, right? Like that kind of stuff, right? And like they're in a like
Obnoxious too.
and they don't like that. They're too cool for school, like grilling everybody, like that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And lots of just cigar smoke. I was like, what the fuck? And then
Sometimes you just need to chomp on a cigar, my dude.
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And then, dude, like the old guy and his wife there. And I don't know, they're just like slow walking to everything. And they'd like look at a ride and they'd be like, mm-hmm. And then they'd go this way. And
Yep.
I'm like, what?
Like, what's the point of you even there for?
Oh my god.
They're just
So
like,
Other
hey,
than the
we
Krispy
could
Kreme
ride the
donut bacon burger.
jackknife.
yeah. I want to go on the zipper.
Yeah. Look, it spins us upside down at 100 miles an hour on a rickety rail. We
Well,
could finally die.
I don't do. I mean, if I have to, I will. But like with the kid, but I won't. I don't like
Carnival
fair
rides
rides, because they do fold up. So other than the people, right? Well, then hold on. And then so like you had like your groups, right? And they were. I wish that my explanation of these different groups could give them like meaning in this context. But I'm sure anybody who's been to the fair knows what I'm talking about each one of those little subcategories, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and then you have like the people that work there. So you have like, like some of them that are just kind of seem normal and nice. There was one guy that was straight up. I wish I took a picture of it. Greatest mullet I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
And then and then you had like the guys that just like were drunk for sure and just wanted to go and get more drunk. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
like let me see your wrist scan. The fuck in the cot.
Mhm.
You know? And you're like, damn. So then you're like looking around, right? And at first, when you get to the fair, I'm like, well, how much is it to get in? It's free. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Well, rides, obviously, you got to buy tickets, right? So cheapest thing, buy a band, right?
Yeah.
Buy all the
35
kids'
bucks
band,
or
whatever. Yeah, it's 20. It was 25 a pop, unlimited rides till the end of the night, which I didn't think was too bad.
No, that's not terrible.
So, so then you're like, well, you're surrounded by games. One game to play one time is $5.
$5. Yep.
Ooh. And with
it-
those games, they're designed for you not to win.
Yep.
So then me and one of the boys we were with, Jacob, we went and played the BB gun one,
Of
where
course,
there's
to
like
shoot
a
the star out.
candy.
yeah, you shoot the star out,
But if
right?
you have even a centimeter of star, they're just like,
Can
no.
I tell you that I shot that whole freaking star out, except for there was I mean, when I tell you that he had to like hold it to the light to see the little bit of red that was there, right? I was like, what? He was like, no, a little bit left right there. Try again. Another $5. Try again. You
Yeah.
2 games for 7. 2 game. I'm like, oh man. So no more games because I was like, fuck this,
Yeah.
The kid played the dart game, so you pop the balloon, you get one little tiny thing, and they're
Easiest
like,
game there. Yeah.
and they're like, unlimited tries, $10 for this man, and he was like, oh, we should do. I'm like, no, because that
It's a
dart
trap.
it's I'm telling you, it's a trap for sure.
It's kind of a trap.
Well, it has to be,
Mhm. Like there's the knock the bottles over game. Mythbusters. Actually, there's a Mythbusters episode specifically for carnival games. and it's all about like demystifying why they're never winnable and why the edge is not in your favor. And they just rebuilt like carnival games their way, and they like proved how it works for each thing. It's really fucking cool.
So you mean you can like kind of study up on the games, go there and fucking win them all?
Yeah, if you know the trick, you can. Well, at the very least, you can know how they're fucking you, and you can try and adjust for it. But it's still a disadvantage that for some games, incredibly hard to overcome.
Yeah, like the one ladder game where you have to climb it and get to all the way to the top, but there's only one point in the middle. It's not a full actual ladder. Like that's just straight using physics against you.
Yeah.
I watched one kid and another kid play the water squirt game, where the thing goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up.
Yeah.
And I was watching the two kids and they were both on it, right? And this kid's was definitely on top, right? And then they got almost to the top and this one went and like for no reason, right? So then the other kid won and I was like, man, that pissed me off. Right. Like was it really pushing the button or did the game just malfunction? Like what the fuck just happened? And what are you gonna argue with Carney, right?
That's what they count on, is that you don't want to embarrass yourself in public. Because like you try and fight a Carney, you're pretty low in your life.
Right. No, you're not kidding. You're not kidding.
Yeah,
so then
you definitely are low, yeah.
So we're there for a little bit and I went and hit up the fair food. Corn dog,
the donut burger.
No, I didn't get a donut burger. I should have, but I always get a corn dog everywhere I go. But let me tell you what. So all the fried stuff that I was looking at, the one thing that I almost bought and I didn't. No, fried bubble gum.
What?
Really? That's
now
a new one.
it was. Now it was like $7 fucking. So I was like, no,
that's dumb.
Right?
No.
Well, everything was that much money. So I go up to the thing. So I go up to one of the things, right? And I was like, can I get a corn dog? My wife got sausages and peppers thing, right?
Nice.
And a drink. Right?
Yeah.
$23.
Dude, so she goes, I was like, can I use a card? And she goes, as long as it's more than $8. I was like, cool. And I was like, oh, this is more than $8, right? And she's like, yeah, it's like 20 something or other. And I was like, all right, here you go. But
you weren't happy about it.
Oh, dude, I was pissed, right? I mean, the food was good, and the drink was cold, so whatever. But
yeah, it's one of those things where
highway robbery.
That's why I only, when I go to a fair, I will only buy there what I can't get anywhere else, which is the deep fried Snickers, the deep fried Oreos, or the deep fried ice cream.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where you can only get, there aren't like places you could just go and be like, hey, and it's not like you're gonna deep fry Snicker bars at home.
No,
you're just not. We
should do that though, as a PB&J special deep frying.
Yeah, just like cooking with PB&J.
Cooking with PB&J. This is how you deep fry your hand. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I'll meet some carnies on my adventures, and they'll teach me the ways, and I can share. Hey, so, here's the true way to deep fry.
Now, the one other thing though that we didn't do, right? But I thought was weird that it was a thing. Right, because it wasn't the last time the fair was around.
Okay.
They had a freak show.
Really?
Now, I didn't go in because it was behind a box thing, right? Yeah. So they had a couple of things. They had meet the world's smallest lady.
Okay.
Which I assume is just a skinny midget or a kid dressed as an older woman. I don't know. I didn't go see it. It was like $2, and I was like, I'm good. The world's tiniest horse, which is like a tiny horse. Now, me and my wife did do that one time, and it's just like a baby pony.
Yeah.
It's little.
It's basically a live equivalent of the "Has Science Gone Too Far" advertisement banners.
Yeah.
From the 2000s.
So, and then they had but that freak show area, you can go back there and see probably pictures of two-headed baby, and a bunch of other fucking weird shit.
Ripley's Believe It or Not. They just went into Ripley's Believe It or Not and started taking pictures of everything.
Yeah. Now there was two things that I noticed though that I was crazy surprised by, because it is a fair, right?
Right.
Is one of the rides had Star Wars branding.
Really? Was that the UFO ride where it spins around and then you go in and you lay against the wall?
Yeah, it's like the Gravitron or whatever. But this one was called.
They had a Star Wars branded.
It was called the Force.
Really?
And it had Star Wars like pictures and stuff on it. Yeah.
Interesting.
And at one of the kid rides, it was Jumbo, not Dumbo, right? But you know, it brought him up and like goes in a circle, whatever. It was playing the Moana song, and I was like, "What?" But see, normally I wouldn't think anything of that because they probably have like rights or whatever, right, to like play different songs, or they don't care.
It's that one.
It's probably that one,
but they're all gonna get fined if they get caught.
But the Disney branding, the Star Wars branding, and then hearing the song, I'm curious to wonder,
to the
knowing that ticket purchasing is a scam. Okay, because rides are super expensive.
Right, they do like 20 tickets a ride or some weird shit.
It's crazy. It can be, it's like 6 or 8, sometimes 10, right? But they have like, you can get a card with this many tickets, or a band, right? The band's the best value, but people don't realize it, and they buy the tickets, right? So anyway, it's a scam. And then the games are all a scam and fucking $5 a pop, you know. Food is ridiculously expensive too, you know. And all that sounds exactly like Disney to me.
I mean, yeah. The only difference is
I think Disney's
the cleaner scam.
Well, sure.
More organized.
And you can only buy the band from Disney.
What do you think the chances that Disney has their hands
in the local fair
game? In the local fair game, yeah.
I think they have at least directly. Yeah, I would say they'd have some like licensing stuff or something similar, purely based off the fact that the Star Wars ride itself for a fair, there's no way you'd get away with that in Disney's backyard.
No.
Because there's going to be a cast member, there's going to be someone who sees it, and corporate's going to know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Disney will cease and desist your ass into next
10
year.
minutes later. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Over a 20-second clip on YouTube. You think they're going to let you use a fucking Star Wars branded ride in your shit carnival?
Nope.
No, you pay
unless
or you don't play.
Hold on. Unless it's designed to capture money from those people who normally may not be able to afford to go to Disney.
Right.
Or
could be like a shell type thing.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I was like, what? That's pretty crazy.
It's possible.
But it would have to be secret. It would have to be super secret squirrel, you know?
Yeah, that's
so you're thinking that Disney's being bribed to look the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think.
Okay.
So
I would be interested to see if it was a quiet paper trail or if there was just like a legit paper trail and they just don't like publicize it. You know what I mean? Like one of the agreements, yes, we'll let you use this. You don't talk about Disney at your carnival. And you just let that shit slide. You know what I mean? Like as part of the licensing agreement for using it. Like the songs, to be perfectly honest, every fair plays songs that I guarantee they do not actually have access to. Well, like they'll play radio. They'll play radio at fairs, which technically you're not supposed to do.
You still have to buy the rights.
Because you have to do like a license agreement with that radio station to be associated with your.
Well, yeah, because you're not a person listening to it. You're a corporation.
You're using their stuff without paying them. That's why whenever you go into like a CVS or something, it's always playing the same music because that's like the radio selection of songs that they are approved for the license that they purchased, and then every CVS has it. So like for the music part, fairs don't give a shit, and I don't think anyone wants to take the time to try and tie down a bunch of carnies with legal stuff because they'll just escape in the woodwork on trains and shit. Like, oh, we're getting sued, break it down, boys, and then they escape. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, and so I just think it's a crazy operation, the fact that they could slam that thing up and down so quick, and then you get in a ride that whips you around at 95 miles an hour in a circle. I think that you're
All it
just
takes is
literally
for
playing with
drunk
fate.
carny. Yeah, one drunk carny to not put a specific bolt in.
Yep.
And then you're done.
So, do you guys want to just ride through no break?
Yeah, we may as well. We're
All right.
15
Yeah,
minutes.
we're on a fucking. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So yeah, the fair was crazy. I mean, I enjoy it every time we go, but it was still pretty nuts,
Yeah.
Yes. So Jordan, haven't heard
What?
from you in a little while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
It has. It has. You got something you wanna talk about? Maybe something about
Yeah.
something about Disney's backyard.
Something about Disney's backyard, bro. So turns out, I pulled up the one story that I had. It's a Florida man story
Nice.
that I had from a couple days ago. I didn't post it or anything. I just had it on my phone, so I saw it on my lunch break, so I saved it. And when I pulled it up, there were some related stories, and I found some others too. And I didn't know which one you guys wanted me to talk about, or if you wanted me to do all three. One of them might be a little bit disrespectful because it does involve somebody dying.
Okay.
But
I mean,
at the same time,
listen, if it's funny and you're comfortable talking about it, and we all understand that we're just laughing at the context of it and not the horrible thing that happened, then it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially it. I mean, I'm not gonna laugh at somebody dying, because that does suck. But
if there was some Buck Wild fucking Vacation with the Grimwalds type shit,
I need to know about it.
No, I mean it's man, natural selection at its finest.
Okay.
That works too, because then it's your fault.
Because Florida man. Let me see where exactly in Florida. Let's see. Palm Beach County, West Palm Beach.
Okay. I was thinking in my head, don't say Deltona, don't say Deltona, don't say
Yeah, right.
No, you got a break this time. But dude from West Palm Beach, a 36-year-old guy, unfortunately lost his life. But basically, he had a pet pigeon.
Okay.
That landed on a power line.
Oh no!
He wanted to get his pet pigeon off the power line.
Okay.
So, and it's a live power line.
Live
okay.
line.
All right.
And his tool of choice was a 20-foot long metal rod.
But why?
That's
why did he choose?
Hence the natural selection.
I mean, it's not like it's stuck because it's a bird.
Yeah,
because it's a bird.
It's like, pigeons fucking go on power lines all the time. It's one of their most common roosting.
Hold on,
that's their thing.
I like it.
But
the funniest part was just that Jordan was just like, because it's a bird.
Yeah.
I mean, do you need to say any more than that?
If it was able to get up there, it's probably able to get down.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He didn't need rescuing, buddy. I'm sorry, but he didn't. He was just chilling. And you tried to ruin that, and look what happens.
So he touched the fucking power line with the metal pole, I assume.
Yeah, that's exactly
what a dumbass.
He is, and I'm glad you're the first one to say it. But
no, listen, I'm sorry he passed away, and it's sad for his family and whatnot. Yeah. But bottom line is that
you're an idiot.
I'm sorry, man. But
what did you expect? Jeez. Let's be real. There's one outcome.
I mean, I got it. What was he gonna do? Like smack the bird off of it?
I guess.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing is, how did the bird get up there in the first place?
He fucking flew. He's a bird.
No. Here's my point. If it's something where the bird can't get down because the wings are clipped or something,
how did it
get there? All right. So if it flew up there, it can fly down.
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing?
Oh man.
That's what I would like to know.
Okay.
I can't.
Next story.
So yeah, that's the one. That was the related story that I found. But the original was a a gentleman, a 32-year-old gentleman in Dundee, who his mugshot looks like a very sad, very not rich Dave Matthews.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Okay.
And I'll send
I
you
have felt it. Oh no, wait, no, is that Dave Matthews or is that Phil Collins for In the Air Tonight?
That's Phil Collins.
That's Phil Collins. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
What's the
god.
song that Dave Matthews did? I mix those two fuckers up all the time.
He did oh man, what's the name of the song? Crash Into Me.
Okay. Okay.
Please send me a picture of this immediately.
I sent you the link. And it's right there at the top. But basically, on last Tuesday, he calls 911.
Okay.
And he tells the deputies that these two guys, they came, they roughed him up a little bit. They took his money, his necklace, his phone, and as they were leaving, they threw the phone on the ground and then they left in a black Crown Vic. And basically, I wish there was more to go off of in between that point and the end.
Okay.
Because basically, he's now arrested because he said, I made the whole thing up. I never got robbed. I just really didn't want to go to work at 11 a.m.
My God.
No.
He filed a false police report
because he didn't want to go to work.
So he could be like, hey, job, listen.
I got robbed.
So hold on. So this is probably what happened. Calls job, right? Tells job, hey, job, I got robbed. This crazy shit went down, right? They took my necklace. And job's like, I mean, did you file a police report? And he's like,
they probably,
yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, it's probably like cool bro managers like, dude, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Come in tomorrow. That's fine. Just give me a copy of your police report. I'll pay you for yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah. It'll be good. You'll be good. Don't worry about it.
Oh shit. What do I do?
What the
fuck? Let me just call cops. I mean, now you're fucking sitting in jail because you're an idiot. You don't want to go to work.
Do you know what? Don't have to go to work now.
You really don't?
No, yeah, you don't.
The last sentence of the story is on the bright side, Brian didn't have to go to his 11 a.m. shift at the restaurant.
Oh man.
So it's true.
That's fucking damn.
He got his wish.
Okay.
I can't even be mad at him.
I can't be either because every day I don't want to go to work. Like I would much rather just stay home. But that's a next level of stupid.
That is some next level stupid.
Next level stupid.
So you said you had 3 of those.
Yeah, and the last one, real simple, straight and to the point. Brooksville, Florida. I don't even know where that is. But a 62-year-old dude was posing as a doctor.
Okay.
And he was seeing clients. He even ordered blood work and sold vitamins and stuff like that and had a cancer treatment machine.
Oh, God.
He was operating out of a double wide trailer. Like his own.
Okay. So, but I just want to point out, right, that if you're the person getting treated by the doctor, for example, right?
And you're in a double wide trailer.
Yes.
That is also this dude's house.
I have some questions.
I feel like you've made bad life choices and it's your fault. That's what I feel like. It's your fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever comes to you, you kind of deserve. Like this.
Here's my whole thing. This is something to where there's some desperate ass people out there who need treatment, but they can't afford it. And like they're like, this guy's just like, look, I'm a doctor. I operate like an underground clinic that's off the books, but you could pay me in installments, cash. I have it hiding out in my trailer. Come get operated on. And then people will fucking do it because they don't have any other options and they're desperate. It's stupid as hell, but it's
so
shit, you know.
So hold on, and I want to just give a little bit of redemption to Florida real quick. And this is something that I think that we're going to start doing is looking into alternate man stories. Okay.
Okay.
So today I bring you Ohio Man. Okay.
Right.
Now
Yeah,
I'm going to
Ohio.
actually share my screen for a second because I want you to see Ohio Man.
Okay.
So for those of you on the audio only version, we will do our best to describe what he looks like. Here we go.
All right.
We're just going to share the whole thing. There we go.
Oh my God.
Do you see him?
Oh wow.
All right.
Finally,
Describe that.
So this is
a
the
real challenger. Our battle will be legendary.
It's a dude who's looking at you and also looking at over there.
Oh my God.
Wow.
All right. So let me go ahead and stop that real quick. Take that off me. So what would you describe him as?
So
He looks like a pug.
he does. You know what?
He looks like that one. Like, do you remember the video of a song for a pug that couldn't run?
Okay.
And it was sung by an Irishman. I cannot fucking run. I'm happy. I'm bouncy, flouncy, running all around the town. Like
yeah.
that.
Okay. So he looks like a pug.
He looks like that pug.
Long hair, one eye pointing the
Like
opposite
the
direction.
super dirt pug who, like, just didn't get running.
So
and just fell over everywhere.
Apparently, he's facing charges of menacing by stalking after a mail carrier reported being followed. Okay.
He stalked the mail?
Listen.
Really?
Bro.
So, this is according to WITV. Stamp. His name is Stamp. Justin Stamps.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
And he was talking.
Hi, yes, I'm Justin Stamps, and I follow your mailman.
No, this is even off of an ABC affiliate website. Okay, so it's real.
Let me get my stamps all over your packages.
Justin Stamps.
He told the mail carrier that she was very beautiful and asked her what she likes to do for fun as she was on Como Street delivering mail. The mail carrier told police as she was walking away from Stamp, he commented, "There's going to be another standoff." Now, I just assume, I don't know why I use that voice, but that's scary. So,
nope.
She stated that he was pacing in front of a house on Como Street. So the police came and he told him, he was waiting for his mom to let him in the house after he had been kicked out for the night, according to the police report. Later that day, the police carrier had to call police again to report that he was following her again as she delivered mail on another street.
Okay.
Officers then found him standing behind the U.S. Mail building.
What the hell?
And had Stamp said he was there because he was kicked out of the Best Western Hotel and St. Joseph Warren Hospital, where he was allegedly causing a disturbance. So they arrested him.
How fucking rude and
Hold
weird
on. They arrested him for knocking on the doors there at the mail office and rolling around in the snow outside.
Jesus Christ.
I can't really hate on him for that part, though.
I mean, rolling around in the snow, that's just funny.
It is
and again,
fun.
it's proof he's part pug. But my whole thing is like...
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
You have to be fucked up to get kicked out of a fucking Best Western. Like, those hotels aren't exactly like high-end fucking...
Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, this ain't a Ritz-Carlton. There's people doing meth in fucking Best Westerns who don't get kicked out. Like, the fuck was... He had to be outside fucking full jacking it outside someone's window for them to be like, "Sir, this is a warning."
God.
And then you have to do it again. And then he gets kicked out. Like, that's the type of shit that I'm just like, what?
So...
Maybe
this was brought to you by a little bit of other man. It's not
other
always
man.
about Florida man.
I found and we won't do it this episode just because it's getting on the lengthy side, but I did find some Polish man stories that are actually pretty Florida manish. I was just like, oh my god, is there a challenger to the Germany or Florida format? Has Poland started to become?
Well, I'm on the search for the new competitor, so
that'd be nice.
Like, to be perfectly honest, I think this is the weirdest League of Extraordinary Gentlemen type fucking setup. The League of Fucked Up Men.
Oh shit!
I think we should try to find the Florida of every continent. Like Germany is the Florida of Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poland might be a new contender for that.
Yeah.
But let's see if we can find the Florida of Asia.
And
the Florida
Ohio
of
is
South America.
Like the new Florida competitor for Florida. They can't out Florida us, but I mean,
you can't. But that's a good damn.
That's a good. You know what? You got
look,
a champion. You got a champion
swing,
over there,
right? That was a good swing.
Yeah.
That's a nice semi-final show right there.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But like, I agree. I think the hunt for other Florida is gonna commence.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like that a lot. I'm excited.
I just feel like in Asia it's gonna be Thailand.
Yeah. And for some reason, every Florida man story has a picture of a girl. I'm so confused. Or Thailand man story.
Yeah, Thailand man story.
Thailand man.
Well, actually, the Taiwanese government actually recognizes it as 3 separate genders.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fully legal and everything.
Really?
Well, that's because that's so.
It's so prevalent there.
Yes. Yeah.
That
So
it's one of those situations.
Boy and lady boy.
Yes.
Essentially, yeah. I don't know how they deal with like more modern stuff. I just know that officially that particular sect of it is accepted, and you can get your license set up with it, and like any government benefits and everything like that, they're cool with it. Like they're just like, yeah, this is just what you are, and they have a word for it and everything. Like it's a gender that has its own specific.
Well,
like,
yeah, and it's just
open like that.
It's just so extreme. But yeah, it causes problems for travelers. No.
Well, I mean, for specific travelers.
Oh shit. So I don't.
Like, I'm going to Thailand so I can fuck some people. Damn it, another penis. Like, stop trying to have a sexcation. All right?
Oh shit! Or at least don't choose Thailand.
I mean, like,
there's literally any other country you could probably do the same thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So we are getting pretty long, I think, but I'm not ready to stop just yet. There's one more thing that I want to make sure that we talk about that we're kind of late on talking about, and I think I'm going to let you guys mostly talk about. Maybe even get some Jordy action in on it. That's why I think why we didn't talk about it last time. Stadia.
If they don't have like the Ricola people for their name, so instead of Ricola, it'd be Stadia. They don't do that. I'm out. My name is Bryce, and that's why I'm out.
My name is Bryce.
I'm out.
So I mean, think about the how awesome that could be for, let's say, you and your idea to stay purely mobile.
Yeah, no, it would be amazing. I could, in theory, I could just fucking run high-end gaming machine from a tablet or something.
Because talk about it at all last week?
No. So if you could, Jordan, do me a flavor, strawberry, please, and explain Stadia.
Okay, absolutely. So it's basically a new gaming, I guess you'd call it a service that Google's coming out with, that you essentially don't need a console for. Like, we're all PlayStation guys and PC guys or whatever, but you can do it from pretty much virtually anything. You know, your tablet, your phone, your desktop, your, anything pretty much. And instead of having physical discs or digital downloads and shit like that, updating the games and stuff like that, it's straight streaming. From server. So you basically pick the game that you want from the library, you buy it or whatever, and it streams instantly. You don't have to have a super high-end computer. and you know, based on your bandwidth, you can get even up to 4K.
Yeah, it's
display.
purely just internet.
And from what I understand, everything Google Stadia literally runs through anything that can launch a Chrome browser.
Yes. Chromecast. Anything that supports Chromecast.
Yes.
So
Chromecast,
like even the little dongle, you can pop that into like a TV that's not as smart but still can connect to Wi-Fi. Bam.
Yeah, as long as it's a decent connection, you're gonna
yeah,
be
as long
able
as
to
you
use
got
it.
the internet connection, you can have connection to something that can handle like 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, surround sound, and it'll even support a second stream for like YouTube streaming. So if you wanted to stream while you're playing the game, it will stream from that server and it'll show your stuff. So it'll give you two streams. One is for the gameplay and the other one's for the YouTube content that you're creating.
So now this isn't a new concept. I mean, it's a pretty new concept in what, the last year or two, right? But
well, it's a concept that's been in the talks for a while, but it's a newer concept as far as being. Yeah, this is like big money going into it because there's been services for a few years now.
What about? I was actually going to say, because Shadow, I'm looking at their stuff right now, and I just wanted to make a quick comparison. So Shadow, what it does is give you access to a cloud-based Windows machine, right? That essentially is running on the most powerful equipment. So you're gaming at 60 hertz 4K or 4K or 1080p at 140 hertz, like that kind of stuff, right? And for those of you that maybe don't know what that is, it's nice and smooth, right? Super high graphics, all that good stuff. And they say that they offer high performance computer through an app and that it's seamless and currently is available in oh my god, a lot. So it's not available in Florida or Georgia yet, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 7 or 8, maybe 10 states total that it's not available in. I don't know what limits its availability, right?
I think agreements with local ISPs and like being able to use like data centers with the different ISPs would be my guess. Basically them saying, hey, we want a demilitarized zone of servers that is just for our service, Spectrum. And Spectrum's like, no, we're not going to do that.
So they say 15 megabits a second for optimal performance,
which is not hard to get in today's day and age. I mean,
it's
like
really not.
So what do you? So do you think that Shadow then is good, and Stadia then backed by Google money is going to be just amazing? Then I mean, like, are we looking at a real future? Then is that what we're looking at right now?
I think that this is going to become a. I don't know if it's going to be the future of gaming in that this is going to replace everything else. I think this is going to be a service that will be make more accessibility for gaming, for sure. My whole thing is for a lot of the more particular gamers, input lag is going to be the biggest killer for cloud-based gaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there is even with just like HD monitors and things like that, there is a delay between when you push the button and when an action appears on the screen, right?
Could one of you pull up what they say their input lag numbers are? Because I think that they were published in comparison with
oh, Google actually finally put it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me find it.
Because they're saying that, and this goes for Stadia too, that you only need a 15 megabit connection, which is nothing. Like that means that your phone on LTE would in fact be fast enough. In fact, your phone in some places now is getting like 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 meg, right? But how stable is it? How much lag is there? Now, I'll tell you guys right fucking now, right? You know that I've said it before, if it's a viable thing for like, I don't know, somewhere between $30 to $50 a month, I would go pure cloud gaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it allows you to gain access to PC gaming, which, I mean, PC Master Race.
Yeah. Without needing a hooked up machine.
Without needing a hooked up machine, without needing the overhead and the upfront cost, because power consumption is one big thing. You're going to be consuming less power because I have a I think a 950 watt. I could be wrong. It could be 650. I can't remember really well.
I'm on a 650 now.
I think it's a 650. I don't know where I got 950 from. I might have been looking at stuff. But
well, you might be higher than that. You have some more high end, like your graphics card is more high end than mine.
I might have a 950, but I can't remember and I haven't looked at it in a while. But that's a big ass power supply either way. That's some serious wattage to be fucking pulling 24/7 because I fucking use this thing all the time. So like the power bill alone will be dropping down in cost.
Well, I mean, because like I have a 4K Chromecast plugged into my 4K TV. Does that mean that that if this works the way they say it does, I can play 4K 60 FPS games on my television?
Yes.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
As long as you've got a badass internet connection.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing about this whole situation is it's going to make things much more accessible. I don't think it's going to like become the face of gaming. I think it's just going to be another option, and it'll be like its own like subgenre of the PC master race.
Yeah, it's not going to overcome console gamings at all by any means to me.
Consoles still have too much appeal for one, brand loyalty. Flame Wars will fuel console sales alone.
I got some numbers for you guys.
Okay.
So
this was done by. Is this what was done by Digital Foundry?
Yes.
Okay.
So they did it using Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was the main beta game for Stadia.
Okay.
I think I actually talked about it a few months ago because I got invited to the beta for it.
I wish you would have tried it.
Yeah, I know. I wish too. I unfortunately just didn't have the time for it.
Right.
But they did a connection or a test with a connection running at 1080p, 30 frames per second, Wi-Fi, and a connection speed 200 megabits per second. And there was 166 milliseconds of input lag.
Which is a fair amount.
But it is, but it's not terrible. So it's did
terrible for like a fighting game. You can't
for like Smash Brothers or Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, shit like that.
That's like if you're playing like a fighting game, especially some of the faster paced ones like BlazBlue or like you said, fucking Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. If you're playing those,
see, but hold on, I'm pretty sure I read that the input difference wasn't that much off.
It's not terrible. So like they also did a worst case scenario, which is they went with the bare minimum 15 megabit per second connection, and they got 188 milliseconds of latency. And the Xbox One X, the higher end version of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, has 166 milliseconds as well. So it's not much of a difference there, but on a high end PC, you have 100 milliseconds or less.
Yes.
As far as input lag.
Yes. So like, and that's the thing. That's running 30 FPS. And
yeah, that's 30 FPS.
So hold on. So are they saying that it's going to be nearly equivalent to console gaming?
To console, yes, but not to PC gaming, or at least high-end PC gaming.
Which, again, that's not a deal breaker for a lot of people. But
it's really not. Like, honestly, unless I'm going to be playing a fighting game, that's not a deal breaker for me at all.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what the input lag using PlayStation, what's it called? Remote play.
Yeah.
Oh, remote play that?
I haven't looked into it.
I haven't looked at numbers. That's entirely dependent on your internet connection as well. Like I've remote played a billion times. You guys know that.
Yep.
And if in a spot where there's really good connection, it's almost non-existent. And then because thank you Spectrum, my internet likes to go out a lot.
So
I'll see a couple of seconds input lag. So it really is very dependent on your connection.
I think that for people,
I think remote play is a little bit more
people
accurate.
Like me that are probably filthy casual, right?
Yeah.
And only play, one or two games in general, right? I think having something like this would do two things. I think it would open up gaming horizons, because if it's just subscription based and I get to play whatever game I want, that would be cool. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. If it's subscription based and then you also pay for games,
that would be a little less cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see if it's like a Netflix type thing where you gain access to all the movies and the streaming. Sorry, my camera's being
I
weird.
think it'll be a combination, to be honest with you.
I think it'll be like a tiered based subscription to where if you pay for like the biggest package, you get all the newest games and everything right away. Everything's cool. If you pay for the mid tier package, like X amount of games from within this time period.
Yep.
Newest games after a month or two. Shit like that. But I was looking into this, and one of the other things that's really interesting for how they try and work with input delay, because I will state that with input delay, that's just how long it takes from the time you press the button for the action to appear.
And we're talking about milliseconds here. You know what I mean? Right. So,
which I mean, yeah. But the other thing is, what happens with the visual delay from that input? So, like, the input could be instant, but how long does it take for me to visually see it? Is another thing for it to get back to me. And that's something we'd have to like get our hands on to like the beta test or something to be able to. But one of the things they did to kind of help with that,
Jordan's internet connection is falling apart right now.
A little bit, but that's okay.
Thank you, Spectrum.
Thanks, Spectrum.
Thanks, Spectrum.
There is a Wi-Fi game. Their controller, because they're coming out with their own Stadia branded controller.
Yes.
It's a Wi-Fi connection. So it connects to your Wi-Fi rather than to the Chromecast.
Mm-hmm.
And it direct connects to the device. And by doing that, it reduces the input delay because it skips.
It's its own connection to the service.
It's its own connection to the service.
Yeah.
So it has its own like little mini Chromecast built into it.
Exactly.
It hooks up to your particular account. So rather than controller to Chromecast to device to Chromecast to controller to device. Bam, bam.
Yeah. And that's it. Yeah.
That is fantastic and very interesting. And it has a Google Assistant button on it.
Yeah.
So you can push it and say, okay, Google, how do I get past this part? And it'll come up with like YouTube tutorials and shit.
Which is fucking
so I don't know, guys. I think that it's going to be a thing. I think that because it's already a semi-established genre that is growing quickly, I think money getting into it like Google is going to create a thing. And I think that if PlayStation and Microsoft, like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, like if they're not careful, next gen consoles are not going to make much money.
Now that's the thing. I disagree with that. They are going to. I don't think that Stadia is going to be a competitor as far as making money to the next generation of consoles. But I fear for their version of Stadia. Like I'm not new, or I'm not. Yeah, I guess I would say it that way. I'm not entirely new to this concept because I have used PlayStation Now.
Yeah,
it's Sony's version of Stadia.
Yeah, where you basically stream video games to your console, and a lot of it's older titles that you can't get anywhere.
Yeah, it's getting better. The library is getting better. The problem is it's way too expensive for what you get right now.
Yeah.
My main issue is, y'all know I love Sony. They don't have Google money, so it's not. It's nowhere near.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Google's going to be able to pull it off.
The first fucking console to officially partner with Google Stadia, is going to be the fucking killer, dude. The first one of those consoles that fucking becomes Google Stadia approved or whatever the fuck happens.
I hope it's PlayStation 5. That'd be sweet, but
I don't see Sony.
I don't think so either. It's a pipe dream, but
it would be a Microsoft thing, or it would be
if Stadia even decides it wants to partner with a console. Because
which they don't have to. Yeah.
Well, no, they technically are partnered with anything that can Chromecast, right? So maybe the next gen consoles will have Chromecast ability.
And one of the things that I will say is when it comes to this in regards to like the next generation of consoles are going to become more like computers in that rather than it being you buy a whole new unit, it's going to
it'll be modular.
they're going to be modular in the future because there's a lot of talks of the next generation of consoles being the last generation of like new iterations of a full console, and then it's just you upgrade that until it's up to date. Which
until you're too far in and you have to get a new one now because maybe the main board is just too old or something.
Right. Just like with a computer.
Yeah.
But
the generations will last longer.
Yeah, the generations will last longer, and my whole thing is,
I mean, we pretty much got that with hard drives and consoles. So
exactly, and it's one of those things where, as these parts become modular to the point where anyone could just pop out a processor, pop in the new one, so you don't have to like take it apart. It's literally like a brick or something that you just attach to your console, like a cartridge. As we get closer to that, console gaming will become even more affordable because you just pay your like $400 or $500 up front, console cost, whatever. And then at that point, when the next one comes out, it'll be like an $80 part.
Yeah, if it's 60, $80, something like that.
Yeah. And then you have the latest and greatest. Bam, you're done.
Yep.
So
everybody will, for the most part, be on the same page. I like that.
I think that consoles will evolve as well to where they'll become more affordable. And ultimately what this is going to mean is gaming is going to become more affordable everywhere. What I'm excited about is for the esports scene, how gaming becoming more affordable to lower income places, because most people are lower income. Let's be real. The reason why soccer is one of the most popular sports in the world is because it's so accessible. Yes. Anyone could get a ball and 2 nets, because you don't even need a net. You can have
2 trees or some shit, or you stick 2 sticks in the ground. Yep.
And that's why soccer is one of the most popular sports in the world, if not the most popular sport, purely because anyone could do it. League of Legends, one of the reasons why it's so popular, free to play, anyone can do it. Fortnite, the reason why it exploded, free to play, anyone can do it. All of these have that trend of anyone can access it, and they make all their money just off the pure amount of people who can actually throw money at it for all the little weird shit. But the main game is accessible to anyone. And
that's why I think that Stadia is going to have a affordable price tag associated with it, is because their whole thing is going to be, we get millions and millions of people on board with this, $50 a month or something like that. It is nothing, especially when they're looking at a new gen console, right? Especially when new ones come out, what are they going to be, $600-700 probably, right?
For the future of VR, I'm really curious to see if Google comes out. This is way later, but if Google comes out with like a Google Glass VR that attaches to the Chromecast and it runs off of the fucking
well, I mean, they already have a bunch of research. They already have a bunch of research into that, into the VR and AR space in the form of Daydream.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the technology is already there.
To make it accessible to Stadia would be fascinating to me.
Oh, fucking right, it would be. I think it's the future, guys. That's what I think.
I think that this is going to be a huge impact, and eventually
it's going to be a big stepping stone.
Yes,
it's going to be a big dick. Sorry.
Yes. I mean, it's Google, so yeah.
It's Google. Yeah, Google's got the biggest dick.
Big dick. So. You'll find big dick. So Google got big dick.
So
all the big dicks, honestly.
Yeah, it'll just be a picture of a really tall man named Richard.
All this right here. For those of you who can't see because you're on the audio-only version, my entire arm up to my fucking elbow is what I'm implying.
He is. He actually just stroked his arm several times in an erotic fashion.
Yeah.
I liked it. Turned me on a little bit.
So, guys, I think that I don't know how long this show is. Felt long.
Yeah, we're going on an hour and a half right now.
Well, you know what? I think that we fucking nailed it. That's what I fucking think.
Absolutely.
Nailed it. Now, you're actually here to plug us this week. We did a horrible job of it last week, so
it wasn't that bad.
No.
What are you talking about? Jordan was here last week.
That's right. I forgot.
For that, and then you remember.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I forgot to edit it
because you promised on the show.
Yeah, because you fucking promised on the show. That's right. I remember.
Everyone heard it. We're all on board.
Yeah, it happened. It's real.
Hell yeah, dude.
But, yeah, plugging all the holes. So first and foremost, you can always find us on the Facebooks just by searching for PB, the letter NJ podcast. You can find us pretty much anywhere at the same thing. send us an email at pb&j podcast@gmail.com. You can, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check out the high quality audio version, edited and everything like that on Apple iTunes, Google Play Music,
and hold on, not to interrupt or derail your outro, but again, the audio version is our show. That's like we have music and
edited a lot of value on that. Eventually, we might start messing with adding stuff to the YouTube side because people have been talking to us about it. But all of that stuff, all the fancy things that you want, the breaks,
we got a musical outro that's actually licensed from an actual band who was kind
enough to so our actual show. Now, if you like the video version, if you prefer to consume us this way,
that's great too. I mean,
however you want. I don't really fucking care. But
however you shoot up if you shoot it up your dick, like however you get your PB&J, like
I just want to be in you. I don't care how we get there. Okay.
Yeah. Just get us in your bloodstream. All right.
So I just like to remind everybody, check out the audio version, and where can they get it at, Jordan?
They can get it. I mean, honestly, anywhere you get your podcast. There's iTunes, Google Play Music. There's a lot of different places out there.
Every app that you can get podcasts from uses those feeds anyway.
Yeah, so Podcast Addict, if you're an Android guy, you use it on there. I think
iTunes.
Apple now has a podcast app, and we show up in there. So obviously, I mean, literally anywhere that you get podcasts, you can
subscribe to us through there, and it automatically downloads the show for you every week.
Yeah,
friggin' sweet.
So anyway, what else? Where were you at?
But other than that, of course, if you are listening to the recorded, edited version, and you want to check out the dumbass visual cues like Ohio Man and
oh my god,
Bryce's dick stroking arm thing, you can find us on YouTube. Just
Jordan edited that out. Go ahead and edit that
out. Oh yeah.
I did not stroke my dick on YouTube. Stop looking at me like that.
But other than that, of course, just last but not least, visit our website, pbnjpodcast.podbean.com.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, please. Every show is archived there too.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
For whatever
descriptions and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you could check it out there as well. So we appreciate you guys listening, and
nailed it.
In my head, I just had the outro music going.
It's a good song too.
Yeah, it is too.
I like that song.
I love that song.
So thank you for being here, YouTube. We appreciate it, and go check out all that stuff we just talked about. Bye.